Hey guys, this is me, Nina, and today I've come to share some very exciting news with you. Today is my second Cancerversary that I have been cancer free. I've been in remission, and I am super excited to see this day. And then I want to thank all of you, those of you who have supported me along this journey, those who have prayed for me, who've called, who've texted, who visited, who just thought of me. I just really want to say thank you, thank you so much for helping me to be able to get to this point. I know I said before in previous messages that I would tell you about my journey, and today I think it is just befitting that I go ahead and do that. So my breast cancer journey started in November of 2017 when I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma stage 3. My cancer was estrogen and progesterone fed, and which is real important for you to know that because I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But since November 2017, my life has just been in an extreme whirlwind. I found a lump in my left breast as to why I went to the doctor, and when I went in, they did a biopsy, and it came back that the tumor that I had was cancerous. I actually had two. One was a stage 3 and one was a stage 0. So in December 2017, I opted to do a double mastectomy because of I decided to do what I wasn't given a choice to have a mastectomy, but I was given a choice of whether I wanted to do a double or a single. So since my cancer was a stage 3, I decided to go ahead and do a double. So during that time, I was to do immediate reconstruction, and with that reconstruction, I did a latissimus flap reconstruction during that time. And so I went in, I had the surgery, and when I was in the hospital, I was in so much pain. And they were giving me strong medicine. My pain level most of the time I was there was a 10, but I ended up going home because the doctor told me that they would not give me anything stronger than that, so I might as well just go home and recover there. So I went an entire week of every day getting up. Every few hours I was receiving medication to try to die down the pain, and absolutely nothing worked. So I went on a Friday, and then the next Friday came along, and I just remember waking up and telling my husband that I just could not handle the pain any longer, and either he needed to call the doctor or I needed to go to the hospital, but something had to happen because I just could not take it. So I went into the doctor, and he told me, and this was the plastic surgeon, told me that he didn't see anything wrong with me, and I just needed to go home and take some Tylenol. So I went back home on that Friday. I suffered that Saturday, and on that Sunday, that's when my whole chest just started to leak. And so called the doctor and went back in the office on that Monday morning, and I was told that I had an infection in both sides of my chest. Can't really call them breasts anymore. So both sides of my chest. And I had to have an emergency surgery to remove the tissue expanders that they had put in for the reconstruction. And I can just remember waking up in recovery and feeling a million times better than I did before. And this is also a part of being able to know your body, being able to be your advocate, because People will dismiss you and think that you're crazy when you go in and you tell them how you feel. And to know that me going in again saved my life probably for the second time. So after I finished with surgery, a few weeks went by, and then I was told after the surgery, after all of the pathology came back, that I would indeed need to have chemotherapy along with radiation. And so I started chemo in February, and at that time I went through 4 rounds of AC chemotherapy, which people deem to be the red devil. And then after those 4 rounds, and I had another 12 rounds. Well, the first 4 were every other week, and then the other 12 were every week after that. And I lost all of my hair. I just felt so bad. It was a lot. And then after the chemotherapy, about maybe like 2-3 weeks after that, that's when I started radiation treatment, and I had 28 rounds of radiation, which was every day, Monday through Friday. When I finished with radiation, now what I'm doing, I'm being treated like a postmenopausal woman, and they shut down my ovaries, and I take a pill every month called letrozole, which gives me a better chance at, because my cancer was estrogen and progesterone fed, they're trying to reduce the amount of estrogen that my body produces to be able to hopefully have a better chance of not having the cancer to come back. And since then, since my initial surgery, I've had 6 different surgeries. I decided to go back to do reconstruction, and I found a much better plastic surgeon than I did the first time. And I did a deep flap reconstruction, which is a deep inferior epigastrial perforator flap. I think I said that right. But what this particular surgery did was they take part of your abdomen to reconstruct the breast. And it was a very, very painful recovery process. And then I had to go back after about 4 months to do a revision surgery. However, I'm happy with the results, but I'm more happy that I was able to utilize my own tissue in order for me to reconstruct the breast. Because for a while, for at least a year, I went flat, just because of the issues that I had the first time with them having to remove the tissue expanders, and really just allowing myself to heal and go through all of the therapies that I needed to go through. And so that really helped with that, with just, body image, and started to just feel like myself, just physically on the outside. Now the inside, I went through a lot in regards to depression, anxiety, and just really just being frustrated with the whole process. It's a lot when you're going through, but it's also a lot in the aftermath. And people really don't talk a lot about the after, but it's a lot. Even into 2 years, for the last 2 years, I have not been able to successfully sleep in a bed. I pretty much sleep in a chair, in an ottoman every night, just because it's comfortable. Just anything, if I recline or anything like that, it really, really hurts. So I just find myself, the most comfortable place for me to be is in a chair. And I'm still super tired, super fatigued. And just really trying to get a handle on that to figure out exactly why. I've had every test under the sun done to try to figure out what exactly is going on. But still, at the end of the day, I'm still here. And I'm super, super, super thankful for my support system. I'm thankful for my family, for all of my friends who have really been there for me. We always hear about things happening to other people, and you never think that it will happen to you. Because this wasn't on my radar. But one thing I can definitely say that listen to your body, go get checked out, go to the doctor. Because so many of us, we don't want to go because we don't want anybody to tell us something is wrong. But it's better for someone to tell you something is wrong and you be able to fix it, opposed to you not doing anything about it. I've just learned so much about myself. The road definitely wasn't easy. I'll be lying if I said some days I wanted to give up, because I did want to give up some days, but because of my family, because of my daughter, I knew that I had to continue to fight. And I still have a long road ahead, a long road to a full recovery, a long road of not being so anxious about things, because every little bump, every little hurt, you always think the worst. You think the worst because the worst happened. But I am just so glad that I'm still here to be able to talk to you about it. And I just urge all of us to really take a handle on our health, to really push our family and friends to go get checked with anything, because there's all types of things that we need to have on our radar in order for us to say that we need to check on to make sure that we're okay and we can be here for as long as we can. So I thank you for listening. I thank those of you who have been here for me since day one, and I still need all of you, and I do thank you for your continued support. And again, Happy New Year.